Waiting for tonight. Whoa.
You're in here in my arms. Waiting for tonight.
Whoa.
Dude, no one can tell us that we're not good at singing.
Dude, we will always be on par, if not better, than J-Lo, in my opinion. Because that's definitely who that is. Who is that?
Is it?
I don't know. It sounds right. Dude, I don't have a drink.
I don't know.
Should I go get a drink right now? I mean, I know we just started.
Actually, can you get me a drink too?
I got you one. But
thank you.
And then while we're waiting, we'll just we'll give the kids the intro or something.
Thank you.
All right,
I'll start you. I'll start. Welcome into the Really Randumb podcast. I'm Colton Pettyjohn, and coming in is Drew Bolden. Thank you for giving me a drink, sir. Appreciate you. Yes, see, that's a good friend right there. When you have a friend that doesn't know exactly what you want to drink, so instead of choosing between the two, you just go ahead and give me both. You're the best.
I went with both because I love you.
Time out. You look different.
What do you mean? How? I kind of feel a little bit different, but
you look lighter, like you've lost some weight.
Yes. So I did run to the fridge to get these for us.
That may have done it.
Yeah. So that might have been it.
Well, you look good no matter what. Thank you. And I don't give a shit what any woman says. They all seem to have opinions about you that really piss me off. A lot of women say some really rude things like, I wish he would shut up, wouldn't talk so much. I wish he was a little taller. I wish he was a baller. There are a lot of things that women say about you that really hurt my feelings and piss me off. And I'm not like, he's too hairy.
Who said I'm too hairy?
He's got dumbass blue eyes. Brown eyes are better than blue eyes. Okay. He's got too much hair on his head. He's not balding enough. I really get upset at girls that say those things about you. And
what the hell, dude?
Like,
ladies,
you
please.
Talk too much. You interrupt people's sentences.
I don't really ever do that, though.
It hurts my feelings.
I never really interrupt your sentences.
And I don't like that girls.
No, but can we cut back
to you that way? Your hands are too big. Your feet are too big. You're annoying. I don't like that women say all these really mean things to you.
Yeah.
Like, you should be more insecure. You're too confident in yourself because there's not really a lot to be confident about. I don't like that they're saying these mean things about my best friend. I don't like that they say, I'm just going to keep going on. I'm just going to keep saying really mean things, even though half of those things are not true.
I was going to keep letting you go. Yeah, like the I'm too confident thing. That was a little much. I was like, too confident. Like, I don't really know if I'm like too confident. I don't really know. I don't really want to say anything else.
I think you're right around the right amount of confident, because I don't think you're too insecure. But I think that you have a good head on your shoulders. Like I think I've talked about this before on the podcast, but I either think I'm the shit, or I think I'm a piece of shit. There's no in the middle. There are times where I'm like, dude, no woman deserves me. I'm so badass. Like, I don't understand how my first marriage didn't work because I'm so amazing. And then there are other times where I'm like, I don't know why a girl would ever want to date me. Yeah, but there's never an in between. Like, I don't.
See, I'm a little surprised that you think the first thing ever.
I know, but sometimes I'm like I'll just get done with a workout or a run, and then I'll like be in the mirror, and I'm like, God, damn, I look good. Ooh. And I'm like, I'm definitely the best out of the three of my siblings, for sure.
For sure. Oh, there's
not even close.
I mean, there might be a little bit of closeness with Stephanie,
and Hunter.
I know what I said. But so, can we just talk about how cute we are wearing freaking champion stuff?
Yes, we're a little matchy.
Do you want to switch? Do you want to trade? What size is yours?
Medium.
Okay, never mind. I'll stay with this one.
I like the
how is the medium big on
color
you, dude?
Scheme. I don't know. Some things size a little different. Also, I have not really lost weight, but I think I've moved the weight around. I think the weight is not as I don't know. I think I just moved it to a different position. Like it's not so much up here anymore.
Yeah, anytime that I shave my face, I look like I went like this and left it.
So I was just talking about this with a couple of my buddies from work, but there was a guy that we used to work with who just so happens to be one of my buddy's dads. And he's gained quite a bit of weight, but his face looks the same. He just looks like he's pregnant. Like all of the weight has gone straight to his stomach, and it's just like a straight bowling ball.
Oh, what the hell?
Like when I gain weight, I notice it in my face right away. But some people, when they gain weight, it doesn't, like you can't tell the difference. If you take a picture from like the chest up, you can't tell the difference of like that they've gained weight.
That's so weird.
But
do you
like
remember
when
that one teacher we had in high school that always looked pregnant, but she wasn't?
Yeah.
But she was like 50 or something,
Yeah.
or 60. So like, how is she even going to be able to be pregnant?
And I remember, I think my brother said there was someone in his class that asked her if she was pregnant. And
Don't ever ask if a lady's pregnant, which I actually have something written down about pregnancy.
even if it is like so freaking obvious that they probably are, let them bring it up. Mm-hmm. Let them give some sort of like hint or clue before you say anything. Mm-hmm. Because there's nothing more embarrassing than asking if someone is pregnant. Or have you ever been in a situation? Oh, this one sucks. But have you ever been in a situation where like you're checking in on someone like, hey, so how's the pregnancy going? And they lost it.
I did that not even 3 days ago. I'm not even kidding. It's so bad.
Really?
Yes, I swear. She sent me a photo of like a snap and said, hopefully this will be the last time that I'm in the doctor's office or like hoping I'm pregnant or something. And I was like, you're pregnant, you slut? Like being funny as I normally are. And she goes, well, she's like, haha, no, not anymore. I had a miscarriage.
Oh, God. Oh, that's so... Yeah, that's tough.
Should we cut that out?
Yeah, I don't know, probably. But it's kind of the same, like, so...
I felt so bad. It was the whole, like, oh, you look great. You lost weight. That post was 5 years ago.
Oh. Also, it's kind of like, hey, how are you and so-and-so doing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got a divorce.
He died.
Or he died. Even
That?
worse.
Have you ever gotten that? Ever asked someone, they're like, well, how are you and Jim Bob doing? And they go, oh, Jim Bob passed away from getting hit by a train.
Oh, no. No, I don't know if I've ever done that. Well, maybe. I have such a shitty memory.
Yes, go.
Well, so I guess I was going to talk about this. Yeah, I was going to talk about this later, but sometimes I get scared at how bad my memory is. Like, so on Monday when I went back to work, like everyone does, hey, how was your weekend?
Oh, yeah.
And just a heads up, if you work with me, I love you to death.
But I don't give a shit about your weekend.
But if I ask you how your weekend was, it's just a filler. I actually, and it's not that I hate you, and it's not that I don't care about you as a person, but I really don't actually care about what you did last weekend.
No.
Like, I have friends that genuinely, like coworkers that genuinely are interested in what I did that weekend.
Right.
Like this girl I work with, Kara, she's the sweetest girl in the world. She sits a couple desks over from me, and
she was pregnant. Or
she
is.
was, yeah.
Was?
She was. She has a little baby girl.
Oh, okay. She gave her. Okay.
Yeah. Her name's Blake. By the way, do you like the name Blake?
Love it. Dude,
I love that as a girl's name.
A man's name for a woman is sexy.
So hot.
I think we've talked about this before, but
yes,
100% so sexy. But
Blake?
If my name was Deborah, people would be like, what the f is wrong with this guy? Yeah.
So she named her kid Blake, and I was like, I approve. That's a really good name. Yeah. Blake Lively. God, that's hot.
Oh, yeah. She's attractive. Yeah.
Super hot.
Yep.
I know we talked about it before, but like...
What about a girl, Bruce?
Bruce. Yeah, that's a good one. A Bruce or... what about Gregory?
Oh, yikes.
Dude,
imagine dating a girl, Drew.
You did that.
I did that, and she was very
That's hot. Yeah,
I miss
that's
her.
a hot name.
Yeah, I wish she didn't block my phone number.
Oh, that's sad. Did she actually?
Yeah, she did. She also blocked me on Instagram.
Oh man, what did
you
you do?
You want to know how I found out? I was on my friend's Instagram, and we were talking about this person, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I wonder how she's doing." He looks her up on Instagram. I was like, "Oh, well, I thought she deleted her Instagram." It's like, whoops. You want to know why she deleted me? Because I texted her one day and I said, "You are my purpose," and that's it. And she had a boyfriend, and I think she was like, "Okay, Drew's a idiot."
Oh. Did you know she had a boyfriend?
I had no idea. She blocked me on Instagram.
I think she
been...
blocked me too.
Oh, Lily?
Because I haven't seen any of her stuff, and I don't unfollow people normally. So
I've definitely unfollowed someone on accident, and I know this sounds like an excuse, but I've definitely hit the unfollow or unfriend when I try to just unfollow them.
Oh yeah, on Facebook.
There are a lot of people that I unfollow. Dude, I know for a fact I have probably more than half of my friends on Facebook. Nice, dude. More than half of my friends on Facebook have blocked me. Not blocked me, but like unfollowed. Because you know you can unfollow people's posts. Yeah.
You?
Me, yeah. 100%. I'm annoying and I'm mean to women.
I wonder if anyone's blocked me. Actually. Yeah.
Well, you're not on it anymore, so.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I had a I don't know, it's one of those weird things. It's like kind of in a weird way flattering, but then also not when a girl that you had dated in the past unfollows you or blocks you.
Oh.
So it's kind of flattering.
That's flattering? Why?
Yeah, because it's like, well, a lot of times, like it's like, well, I'm not gonna be able to see your stuff because I don't want to see you with someone else.
Sure.
And so it's like
that's also to keep your sanity.
You still, like you still care about me. That's sweet, but then you've got to like not care about me to, I don't know. It just like forces yourself. I mean, I've done that before where I've stopped following people or whatever just because I'm like, okay, I can't.
Yeah.
And like one time, like I had a ex-girlfriend unfollow me or unfriend me because they were in a relationship, and I was like, I kind of appreciate that because I don't want to see that shit.
Dude, I just saw a post the other day since I'm on social media and you're not, and the picture said, "Hey, I had to unfriend you on Facebook so my girlfriend wouldn't get mad," and the response was, "Wow, have a wonderful relationship." Because that sounds like an awful relationship. When your girl or your boyfriend says you need to delete a opposite sex friend because that's toxic as you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like if it's a friend, yes. If it's
because I don't mean to brag. I have many friends. Some of them are even female. And if I ever date somebody that says, "Hey, you need to cut all ties with all of your female friends," I will cut ties with you. I'm sorry. You were here last.
I've been in a relationship like that before. It's not fun.
What? Really?
Yeah. I was not allowed. So I was supposed to have, I mean, I guess we'll cut all this, but I was supposed to have lunch or dinner or something.
Well, just keep the names out.
Well, I was supposed to have lunch or dinner with a friend.
So
I guess it kind of makes sense because there was a little bit of a history there.
Right.
But like we had been sure. friends for several years.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was like we were just gonna catch up, and I think she had a boyfriend at the time.
Wasn't she engaged or isn't she? Well, she's married now.
She's married now. I don't know where they were in their relationship at that point, but I really missed her as a friend. I hadn't talked to her in a long time, and then when that happened, where she was like, "No, I don't feel comfortable with that. I think that's kind of shady." It's like, I'm legitimately just like wanting to hang out. She was like, and she asked, she was like, "Did you ever have a history with that person?" And I was like, "Well, I don't want to lie."
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's good that you didn't want to lie.
But so I guess that kind of makes a little more sense. But
what if the roles were reversed and she wanted to go hang out with a guy that she had previous escapades with? What would you say? What would you do?
That's an interesting question. I think I would be cool if they were just having lunch or whatever. And I think a lot of it has to do with, and I now understand, but with like not being invited. It's like, so what are you trying to hide if you want to just go to lunch with one-on-one with this person. So I guess that kind of makes sense. But if I'm secure enough in the relationship, then and I have trust issues, so I don't know if I would like. I just get nervous about that whole thing now because I'm like, well, I trust you, but I don't know who this guy is, and I don't know if I can trust him.
That kind of reminds me of like whenever you go to get your license and your parents go, it's not that I don't trust you, it's I don't trust the other drivers.
Yeah.
Like off, mom and dad, I'll be fine, and then you get in a wreck.
Yeah.
No. But
so it's a valid point because like us guys say, we know guys.
Yeah.
So we know their intentions and their angles. So but if I know that guy has no would
chance.
Be tough.
If he looked like if he was not attractive but if you're
there's been a couple times before where I've known a guy to go after like sliding the DMs of my current girlfriend, and there are some times where I'm so confident where I'm like,
yes,
go ahead, try.
That's fine.
Do you? Well, but I was gonna go back to Jesus. This was like 18 minutes ago.
Brain thing.
But scary about my memory. So I last Monday I went into work and people asked me. I had multiple people that asked me about my weekend.
Oops.
And I was like, they're like, hey, how was your weekend? And I was like, oh, it's pretty good. And I initially was like, yeah, it was pretty good. I don't remember a whole lot, so I guess it was good. And they're like, oh, you probably got wasted. And I was like,
could the drinking have been the problem?
Yeah, I drank a little bit, but I didn't do anything like crazy where I was like blackout. And so then I started thinking, and then I immediately was like, so starting from the beginning of the weekend, what did I do? And then I was like, Friday when I got off work, okay, what did I do Friday? And I sat there for like a couple minutes and I was like, I have no idea. And I couldn't think of what I did on Friday. And then I kind of remember what I did on Saturday. And then I didn't really remember what I did on. I was like, dude, am I drinking too much? Which I don't think, because I didn't get like up.
Yeah. But
like, or do I just have a shitty memory and has it always been shitty, or am I like losing my mind now? Like, is it both getting worse?
Yeah. Oh, it's 100% getting worse.
What was that?
Were you hailing somebody you shouldn't be
No,
hailing?
I was just like getting worse.
This is like we're here. We got to get to here.
Yeah.
Never mind. No one knows what that is. But no, I think I had a question about earlier because you said getting fucked up or whatever. But I think I don't remember things because they just aren't important to me. But also, if it's like the same stuff that I'm doing all the time, like gaming or whatever, or sleeping, which is most of the time, or watching YouTube, I'm not going to be like, oh, I just watched some stuff and did nothing. And then I have nothing to bring to the table. But I also don't care about what the person who asked me, don't care about what you did. Gonna be honest.
Yeah. Well, and that's 95% of the time. It's like, I don't really care to reciprocate. Like, it was good. How was yours?
Yeah.
Because I don't.
Unless.
Unfortunately, and it's not that I don't like you. Because I probably really, really do like you.
No,
I just don't care about what you did unless it's something that's like
really dope.
Dude, I got to go on a yacht with Mark Cuban and blah, blah, blah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Dude, let's also random. But
how random was it?
It was really random.
Nice.
Last weekend on Saturday, I sat next to Donnie Nelson.
Oh, right. And you were pissed at him.
the GM of the... Yeah, so I was sitting there and I was eating brunch with
GM of
my
the Dallas
friends.
Mavericks,
by
the way.
And we were sitting there and we were, catching up. Hadn't seen him in a long time. And all of a sudden, this table pulls up next to us. It's like a little corner booth. And so there are three guys in the corner booth. And like when you're focused on whatever, what someone else is saying or what you're saying, like you don't really, like what's going on around you, but you're not like paying attention.
Yeah.
So I'm not like looking over and seeing. So there's three guys that sat down, and then there's a guy that pulled up a chair on the edge of the table, and he was like from me to you.
Oh.
Maybe even a little closer.
So want me to be me? And want me to be him?
I'm sitting, yeah, it's exactly like that. So I'm looking and I'm talking to this friend, and Donnie is sitting here, and I don't know it's him, but he's a big dude. And then he's like being really loud. No, he just has this like really booming voice, and so And so like I'm trying to listen to what the person is saying, but I have a really bad attention span and it's hard for me to focus. And so like I'm like looking at them and I'm like, okay, I'm really trying, but like all I can hear is what he's saying. And so I'm like,
dickhead. Yeah.
I'm like, and so I just kept looking over and I was like, hey, why'd you have to sit so close? And why are you being so freaking loud?
Yeah, yeah.
And then at one point I eventually was like, dude, who is it? And I looked over and I was like,
how did you see him? Wasn't his back to you?
It was, I could see the side of his face.
Oh.
Like I just looked over and I saw the side of his face. And then as soon as I saw his face, then I was like, dude, that voice, that sounds like Donnie Nelson's voice. And so, and then I went to the bathroom. And when I came back to the bathroom, part of the reason why I went to the bathroom was
because
I had
a little baby bladder, yeah.
But I also wanted to see if that was actually him. So I walked up from the side and I saw it was.
Who was he with?
Him.
Anyone of service?
Service. It was you could tell it was like a business deal because they were talking about like a presentation, like, hey, yeah, you should definitely put this in the presentation. Talk about, the hotel amenities and blah, blah, blah. So they were talking about something like business related.
I'm on my second one.
It's all good.
It was an accident.
And
it was an accident. Yeah, yeah.
And but I don't know who those guys were. They were.
Did you look at him and go, "Hey, Donnie, chill, dude"?
I should have. I should be like, "Hey, Donnie, I know you don't know me.
I make more money than you, Donnie.
But I used to be an intern on the Ben and Skin show, and I know you know Skin. And Skin told me to tell you to shut the fuck up. No, he didn't. He didn't.
And then you're like, really. Big fan. Thank you.
We need less white people on the Mavs. Can you do something about that?
Good God, there are at least 7.
Yeah, which is not good if you're a basketball team and you have more white players than you have anyone else.
You're not going to be that good.
Not good.
I had always heard that saying that we need more. Well, I think saying we need more black people is a little bit racist, but I also don't think that that's racist because it's positive. Like, I would prefer more black people on the Mavericks than white people because there are definitely 4 starters that are white, right? Maybe 3.
From average, if you look at it from like the top 10 players in the league, maybe 2 of them are white. The rest of them are probably,
and who else?
Maybe the Joker. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Jokic, whatever.
We'll kiss because it was close enough.
But I think that's about it, right? Who else? Anyways.
Yeah.
So, stupid freaking. And the thing is, I actually had a pretty fun weekend because Friday I ended up going over to Kyle's house with you to play Rock Band. And we had so much fun. We're 18 again, apparently. And we play Rock Band for hours and hours on end.
Dude, Rock Band is so much.
So good.
It's so, well, not even like is playing the instruments fun. Even doing the singing and it's like karaoke, dude. It's free karaoke.
Yes.
And if you do really bad, the crowd starts to boo you.
That's fun.
There's a little bit
encouraging.
There's a little bit of a risk, Risk,
or
low
also,
risk, high reward.
There's a risk of
sounding bad.
There's a risk of one of your friends saying, "Oh no, don't let her sing because she's not good at singing."
Yeah,
and then she hears you. And then she doesn't want to do any singing for the rest of the night because
I wasn't serious.
Drew,
I wasn't serious.
You are good at singing.
Yeah, well, not really, but I did want you to sing. She gets like 100% most of the time. Yeah, but she's on easy. Chill. I could get 100% on piano.
Oh.
Yeah.
On easy?
Probably not.
What about on expert? Do you think you'd be...
No, I don't even know how to... Do you remember when DJ Hero was a thing?
Yeah.
That was a little.
That's one of those things where it's like, just stick with the original. Don't try to, because like anytime a movie does well, it's like, oh, cash cow. Let's go in on this, and then the sequel always sucks.
Like Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty.
I don't know, man.
Steve Carell. Yeah, but Evan Almighty sucked.
It was bad.
Yeah, he was. I like that. Like that was on Between Two Ferns, right? And he was like, What was your favorite movie that you ever made? And he goes, "Oh, Evan Almighty." And he was like, "That's a good movie." He's like, "Fuck you, fatty."
Yes. Okay, so I want to get into the first thing that you wrote, or the second thing you wrote. Actually, let's go into the second thing you wrote.
Okay.
Because
this was a couple weeks ago now.
I like this.
So,
and I don't really know what you're gonna say, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's a good thing. And
it's a good time. It's a good time.
and
I even made an Instagram post about it.
And I've heard about it. I didn't see it, but I heard about it, and it warmed my heart. But we had several times on this podcast. If you've kept up with any previous episodes,
Please do. We have many of them.
1 through probably like 30 something. There were a lot of jokes about you and the diciness of the relationship with you and your father.
Father Bolden.
It was just an interesting, like, you didn't
We're
talk
talking, by the way.
much for about a year or so.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it seems that it's run its course, and
Do you wanna just tell the
you
story?
guys are getting along. So
Yeah.
no, I
know.
this is how you introduce something, and I hand it off to you.
know.
I'm not trying to tell your story.
No, please
But
do. Ready? Go.
I just want to let you know that I never ever had anything against your dad. I always just wanted to be like, I didn't want to be that friend that was like, dude, you need to, but I just wanted to be supportive. And if like,
You were great.
when your girlfriend, when girls like us, when your girlfriend is
Please.
mad about something,
Yeah.
you are also, even if you're not really, but you're also mad with them for them.
Yeah.
So like during that whole situation, I was supportive. I was like, dude, if this is how you feel, like, go for it, whatever. But I was always looking forward to I think it's healthy. And I was hoping that you guys would get back to this point. And it seems like you guys are in a pretty good space, and you've reconnected with your dad.
So the good thing about having Colton as a best friend is that since we've known each other, well, I'll just start with this. Since we've known each other for a long time, Colton knows kind of how Rocky, my father, and me, our relationship has always been.
You're just kind of polar opposites in personalities.
Yeah, he's very much a political, religious, do things by the book, go to graduate high school, graduate college, get a career, get a family, blah blah blah. I kind of took the the Red River was a flowing, so I took the dirt road home, So I kind of took I took a bit of an alternate route, right? I finished high school. That was we were
check.
Yep. Check.
You did that.
I attended college.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much where I stopped, right? And so our paths started to deviate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think since then he kind of, again, I don't know his thoughts, and I haven't really talked to him about this, but
maybe struggled a little bit with how you chose to.
Yeah. Well, let me say this first. Let me Quentin Tarantino this. I don't know why I did baseball, but my father and I, our relationship is the best that it's ever been right now. Literally right now.
That's so good.
And the reason why I think it's so much better is I've done a lot of maturing. I'm almost 30 now. My dad, I think, is 60, 61.
Mm-hmm.
He looks great, though. I'm going to be honest. My dad's a hot dude. My dad's an attractive guy. So, Dad, if you're watching, good for you, bud.
Yeah. So,
tell me.
So is your mom. What happened to you?
I know. I'm 29 and I look 90. Yeah. So a little bit for a while, we were a little bit rocky just because I was so. We figured out the problem. I'm so scatterbrained here. We figured out the problem, and it was us being friends on social medias, right? Because I would see.
I do know that friendship on social media, if you are vocal about things, can really not shatter, but kind of can mess up some relationship. There are a couple of friends that like I'm super close with that we no longer follow each other on Facebook and Instagram because of that. And it's interesting to know that you can still be friends or have a good relationship with someone without following them on, like, social media isn't life.
It's not who you are. No.
Yeah. It's not necessarily. Yeah. It may be some of your opinions, and it may be kind of like a caricature of who you are. Because
that's pretty good.
A lot of times, like, what you post is a little more than what you actually are.
Right.
Like, and so I can see that. And so how did you guys come to that conclusion?
So I came to the conclusion, and I said, I pretty much just wrote a really long I think I just wrote a really long text message, but sometimes when my dad wants to be serious, if I get an email from my dad, it's serious. If it's a text, it's normally a little bit like silly, which is kind of funny because
I don't know if I've ever gotten an email from my mom or dad.
I don't think your dad knows how to use email.
Yeah, my dad is he's a pecker.
Cecil, you're a pecker, dude.
You're a dickhead.
You're a dickhead. Yeah.
He
hunt and peck is what
he's
it's
a
called.
hunt and peck. When he types,
My dad's a pecker, dude.
He never went. You know how they teach you like the home base or whatever?
I never did that. I just learned. This was back when MySpace was like running rampant, and you had to like code your background to make it move and shit. Well, that's when I started like trying to type, and I was like, I gotta pick this shit up because I was doing.
Yeah, that's what my dad does. Yeah. And I think.
How is he on the phone?
Dude, my dad is on the phone more than any 90-year-old you would think. By the way, super impressive that my dad had me when he was 60.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
No, he's, I don't know how old he is, like 50 something. But he spends a lot of time on the phone. He texts a bunch. He loves to text. He loves to FaceTime. He loves to Facebook. Maybe a little too much. But he's good with the phone, like with texting, I think.
Yeah. I would imagine he was because he texts back pretty quick.
Yeah.
Do you remember texting with the buttons that you had to hit? If you wanted to get to C, you had to hit 3 times. And if you wanted to get to, I think it was like,
did you do
OPQR or OPQR? You had to hit R like 4 times.
So yes, but then did you also? I switched it to T9, like predictive text.
Oh, I didn't. I like to do the buttons because I could do that in Drive.
You were really fast at that shit.
Yeah, I was. I really was.
Impressive.
Yeah. So ladies, if you want to text somebody that's good at texting, do not text Colton because it'll take him 3 weeks to respond.
Yeah. Dude. Well, anyways, so your dad, if it's serious, if it's
serious, I'll get an email. It's normally like if he just has a lot to say or if he has a lot on his mind that he wants to get out, which he's normally on his computer because he's very tech savvy for a 90-year-old also, but he's been an IT guy forever. So if I get an email that says from his email address, I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be kind of serious. Anyway, so the reason why I came to that conclusion was because it seemed that all of our fights came from either right after I posted something on Instagram or Facebook. No, it was like literally 100% of the time we would start arguing because of something I posted or something I said or a video we made or whatever. And the straw that broke the lesbian's back was, do you remember the video that I did it was a year ago last month, right when COVID was running rampant?
Yes.
And it was the video I did where I was like,
your relationship was already rocky at that point.
Yeah,
right?
It was not good. It was this was it literally was the like last straw. So at this point, I did a video and maybe I'll just post it here or whatever. I have been anxious all day awaiting like news from my doctor. He just called. I've been making fun of it this whole time I think you know what. And my doctor just called me and told me that it is confirmed that I got a fat ass. So I posted that video and my dad, I got an email like an hour later.
By the way,
it was an email.
I thought it was really funny.
Thank you very much. And I got to say, I was not the original writer of this. Tyler Bolden sent me a private snap of that, and I died laughing. And I was dude, please post this. And he goes, no, I can't. I was like, then let me remake it and post it. He goes, oh, go for it. Yeah. And it was like and everybody was like enjoying it. So I felt really good. So thank you, Tyler Bolden. TG Beezy, TG Bitch Boy. So I posted that. Not even an hour later, I got an email from Father Bolden that was like, hey, you about your last video, I really don't think you should be joking about it, blah 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 blah. Someone could die from it or something. Just very like I am in my almost 30s and he's telling me what I need to not post and what I should post, right? Yes. And so I was like, I ain't having that. So then I went off on him on email and I said, I don't, this is the last straw, whatever. And I basically just said, I don't want to hear from you ever again. And I said, I don't want to talk to you ever anymore. Not at all. Don't want to hear from you. No call, no text, no smoke signals, whatever. I don't know why I always go to smoke signals, but that's one of my fave.
What is it?
Don't hunt and peck me. Don't poke me on Facebook. You know?
Dress code? What is it?
Dress code. Yeah, for sure. What?
Peck mode.
Depeche Mode.
Morse code.
Morse code. Yeah, Morse code. He knows Morse code, actually.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah, my dad knows a lot of nerdy stuff, but he's a big old nerd, but I love him. Okay, so I sent that off, and then like 2 weeks later, we get COVID.
Yeah.
I made a joke about getting it, and I was like, COVID's nothing. And then
we got it.
And I think I posted.
And, sorry again.
Yeah, you're bitch. Well, we shouldn't have, pulled a hold, So, so anyway, we get COVID. My dad finds out about it, and then he texts me, and I texted him, and I said, but he texted me.
Didn't he put you in a group text?
He put me in a group text with my family, and said the first thing he said was, which I've talked about this with him, and he knows, and he was like, I just, I wanted to make sure you're okay. Because again, this was like right whenever COVID was apparently killing everybody who gets it. It was a little bit of an overreaction.
We got pretty early on.
Yeah. It was like, well, we got it in
June.
June. Okay, so I think when I posted it, maybe it wasn't right away.
No, I don't think it was.
Okay, maybe I'm just trying to make the story more dramatic. So the next day after that, we got COVID. But anyway, I feel like I'm making the story longer than it needs to be. But where was I?
He texts.
Yeah. So he put me in a group text with my mother and my brother and me. And my mom and dad are not together anymore. They've been divorced since like 2003 or something. But they still get along just because we're the best kids ever. And he said, "Has anyone heard from Drew?" In a group
with
text.
you in the group text.
With me in the group text, and my brother and my mom. And Tyler, because Tyler and I pretty much are each other's like therapist or whatever.
Yes. You bounce stuff off.
Yeah. So Tyler knew exactly what was going on at this time. So did my mom and everything. But my brother responds with, "Yeah, he's fine. Played Xbox with him 2 hours ago or whatever." Because my brother and I play Xbox. It doesn't matter. We're nerds. And so then in the group text, my dad again responds to my brother, not even really reading it, and goes, "Okay, well, I just think that it's important that we know that he's safe since COVID, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, I think at that point, whenever you are being talked about in a group text and you haven't responded, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, I clearly don't want to be in this group chat. And I think I ended up leaving. I think I ended up leaving because we were all in it was iPhones, so I could leave.
You can leave?
Yeah, if everyone in the group chat is iPhone, you can leave the group. But if one person is Android, you can't leave. So that's why.
Okay, Hunter, you need to get an iPhone so I can leave all of our family group text messages.
That's why he has it.
He's the one that doesn't have it.
Yeah.
He's also, I just can't stand it when people are, the only reason why they do something is just to go against the grain. Like,
I would never do that.
But anyways.
Yeah. So anyway, that goes on, and I just get more and more upset with my dad. And so, long story short, let's bring it all the way back around.
It is kind of interesting how you can get mad, because I do the same thing. You can get mad or frustrated with someone who is genuinely making sure that you're okay.
Yeah.
And then you're like, dude, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's kind of like in soccer when you like fall down and you hurt your knee, and then
Or,
like you're like,
you get hurt because it's soccer. You don't really get hurt.
But you're hurt, and then someone comes up to you, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
Leave me alone.
Yeah. I don't want.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way when like, people check. Like, when we had COVID, people would check in, and if you check in on me and you normally don't really seem to care about me, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really care.
They're doing it for themselves.
Yeah.
And
then
that's what he was doing.
I would kind of get annoyed when some of my family members would check in to me. My sister can check in on me like every 5 minutes.
It depends on who it is.
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm good, thank you, appreciate you."
Well, yeah, but you talk to your sister every single day.
Yeah, a lot.
But it's like a lot of times if it's like if you check in on me, I'm fine. If Greg checks in on me, I'm fine. If it's like my brother, whatever. If it's someone that I talk to every day, I'm fine. But if it's someone that I hadn't talked to in months. Like we were put in a group chat with someone who was like, "Hey, I know y'all didn't want anyone to reach out, but how are you?" Like, what the are you doing?
Yeah.
It was so, anyway, whatever. Sorry that we're popular, I guess. So, what did Andy Bernard say? Sorry I annoyed you with my friendship. Yeah. So anyway, so that kind of went on for a bit, and I just never responded. And I think I responded later, and I said I'm good, and just left it at that. Because like if I never only just say I'm good ever in a text or email or whatever. If I just say that, then there's I'm either annoyed at you or I don't want to talk to you, whatever. But anyway, all of that bullshit aside, the reason why we figured out it was literally that video is what I was like, oh. And then I started remembering like this is the reason why we're fighting is like the vlogs I did with my ex back in the day, didn't like that we cussed a bunch. The videos that you and I did where we would be gay or quote unquote gay with each other, never was big into those.
All right. Well, you're not gonna like this.
I thought you were gonna stand up and I was gonna fake blow you. I thought that's where you were going. And
you're not gonna like that either.
And if you want to see that, you're going to go to onlyfans.com/reallyRandumb.
Yes.
Really Randumb.
We really missed out on an opportunity there.
We really did. I mean, I don't think anyone's taking it because we're not popular enough, but
we can still do it. It's not over.
Yeah. Nobody please take it. Please, God, we need the funds. So anyway, that's what it ended up being was that. And I just went through all the memories of that. So we came to the mutual agreement to not follow each other, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. But I mean, I haven't been on Twitter since 1994. But
yeah, I think it is.
But yeah,
very, very, very mature of both of you to realize that that's what it was, and that you're not going to do that. And because I think a lot of times people, especially now with the divisiveness of all the shit that goes on in politics and how like polarizing some people's opinions are, like I think it's extremely mature to be able to go, okay, I know that we're not going to see eye to eye on this topic or a lot of topics, but I'm still willing to be. I mean, we have a couple friends that there are quite a few things that politically, religiously, whatever, we don't see eye to eye on.
Those are the big two.
Like you and I are polar opposites when it comes to our religious views. Like I'm Christian and you don't believe in anything. Mm-hmm. And that's never affected our friendship because we know, okay, I'm not going to try to like pull it out of you and you're not going to try to persuade me to not believe in anything. We have that understanding and we can move forward with it.
Yep.
And I think it's extremely mature to know that or to face the fact that, okay, it's social media that's tearing us apart. So let's just if we can't just see each other's post, because like you may be able to see.
You got to finish your thoughts.
I know. But you may be able to, like, there are some friends that I can still see their posts, not agree with it, and still be friends. Right. And then other friends where it's like I see their posts, it enrages me, and I'm not going to be able to, so I've got to not see that.
Right.
So to realize that, to come to the conclusion that your dad can't see your stuff without getting upset and vice versa, maybe, I think that's huge. And if you really want this relationship, which I would assume you would, because it's your dad.
Yep. Father Bolden.
Then do whatever it takes to make sure that relationship continues to grow. And even if it is pulling a big chunk out like social media, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
And if you can hang out with each other and do stuff together, spend holidays together, and everything's fine outside of that, then I don't think that's a big sacrifice to not follow each other on social media.
Nope. And I'm going to be honest, don't miss it. And I know he doesn't miss mine.
It's the same thing with like Dylan, our buddy Dylan.
Oh, I don't
unfollowed me on everything, and he unfriended me on Facebook because there were some things that we don't see eye to eye on. And initially I was like, that's kind of childish. But now I'm like, I kind of appreciate, and we could still be friends outside of it. And I don't have to see some of his political posts that I don't always agree with. So, I think it's very, very mature to be able to see what you can and can't handle and still be able to move forward with the friendship or relationship.
Yep. And it is the most mature thing that I think I've ever done. And I think that it goes a long way if both parties are willing to sacrifice.
Yes.
Because if
it's
I
100% has to be mutual.
Yeah. Because if I just said, hey, Dad, I'm not going to follow you on Facebook anymore, and then he was like, and he took it personally, then it's not going to work. Yeah. But we both, we're grown adults. We came to the conclusion, like, look, you're not a big fan of what I post. I'm not a big fan of what you post. Let's just cut that out of the equation and move on from there. So I guess where the story was going was recently Father Bolden purchased some property down in, well, not that down somewhere. And it's like 10 acres. It's small town. It's like 2 hours away from literally anything.
Yeah.
But we were down there and I was helping him. Dude, I got, like, I have cuts all up my arm and stuff, but we were, do you feel, I'm doing what you did earlier, not completing thoughts, but I have a couple, but I'm ready to go.
By the way, I don't know how that's the first time you ever like pointed out. I do that all the time. Like, have you ever, is there some, when you do, just
but
finish it, Colton.
I know you have 3 going and then whenever you finally get them and then when you, whenever you finally bring them together, it's like, but
satisfying.
Do you feel like a plastic bag? Yeah. No, there is no other time in the world where you feel like the most manliest manly man of all time, other than when you're holding the chainsaw and you just rev it through a tree.
Yes,
dude. Or you're
just moving brush, or you're
oh baby.
Yeah.
Oh dude, we were getting
a shovel and digging out dirt.
Oh dude, when you or when you break the dirt with your old man, ain't nothing more American than that, motherfucker.
Or when you're just rimming another guy.
Yeah, I knew.
God, I need to slow down on the drinking
honestly,
when we do the podcast. When I drink too much during the podcast, I like say stuff and immediately I'm like,
that's okay, you're editing. But anyway, so I was chainsawing through some bullshit. I was moving some brush out of the way. Like, excuse me.
You were living out a country song.
Yes, I really was. Moving out brush. A woman won't call me back. We're getting a divorce. I'm getting a dog. I'm buying a truck. Stuff like that.
You need a truck.
Yep.
You need a dog.
Yep.
You need a wife to leave you.
Yeah.
You need.
Well, you got one of those. You got 2 of those. You got 2. You got a dog.
And then you need to move. You're halfway there to a country song.
What am I? I got the brush, and then what was the other one?
No one loves you.
Oh, okay. Right.
No, I don't think that's a part. I just think that's.
I just think that nobody loves
your
you.
life.
So anyway, we were moving brush. I was chainsawing shit. And have you ever used an auger, Colton?
I have not actually.
Well, I did.
I know what one is, so I'm proud of that.
What does it do?
I don't know.
But you know what it is?
But I know what it is.
That's good.
But I don't know what it is.
That's good.
Isn't an auger well, shit. Now
I'll tell you
don't
what
think
it
I
is,
know what it
Colton.
is.
So,
Isn't it like, does it till up the land or no?
What is till up?
Till up the land?
Till up. Yes, it does. I was like, did you just...
It's like a tulip, but it's a till up.
Yeah, so basically all it does is builds trenches for you. Right?
Yes.
So Father Bolden rented... I say Father Bolden because my brother made up this nickname a long time ago, and it just stuck. And he likes to... My dad will say this joke, which will never get old to me, and I know that's surprising, but I never repeat jokes, and you know this. Mm-hmm. I've never repeated that joke ever. Uh-huh. But anytime I say Father Bolden, he'll go, I'm not a priest. Every time. And it makes me laugh. So
good.
Every time.
So simple, so good.
Father Bolden, I'm not a priest. And then I go, Father, Son, Holy, what have you, right? But anyway, so we aug up the land, you know what I mean?
Oh.
And so we got 10 acres, by the way, at this place, close to a lake. And it's not like lakefront, but it's close enough to where...
Can you go there? Is it private property, or can you go to the lake to fish?
Oh, it's like a big-ass lake. It's lake something.
No, but is it on... private or can you go up to the lake and fish
on our property?
No, not on your property, but you said it wasn't lakefront.
It wasn't lakefront,
but
it's not lakefront,
but from your property you can go to the lake and fish.
You can drive like 10 minutes. It's just like a normal lake. Okay. Like Lake Joe Pool in Cedar Hill or whatever. It's a big ass lake. I don't even know what the name of it is, but it's
I'm just saying it doesn't butt up against a bunch of private property
Correct.
where you can't go.
It's like a public lake. I guess.
Yeah.
But
Sweet.
But even then, aren't there lakes that even if there is
fishing out there? I know that sounds so
no.
dumb.
I used to be when I was younger. I used to be like, I never want to fish. That's so stupid. It's so boring,
dude.
But all it is podcasting on the water.
Yes, and
why don't we do a podcast on the water, dude? All right,
dude.
We're getting Greg. We're getting Kyle. We're getting. If women want to join, they can. But we gotta trick them. We gotta say we're going brunching. Why am I so country right now, brother? Anyway,
dude, when I talk about that kind of stuff,
yes,
I turn country too. I was just gonna say real quick.
Yes.
I'm the opposite of you. As a kid, I loved fishing then stopped. When I became, high school age or whatever, I stopped doing it, and I always wanted to do it. But I never wanted to touch the fish when I got it. I was like,
me neither.
Okay,
Me neither.
Give me gloves.
But I was
always afraid that the fins were going to cut my hands.
Well, if you went to the Boy Scout camp that I went to where we went fishing, it was cod or something, and it would cut your hand.
Yeah. That sucks.
Who wants to catch a fish that cuts your hand off?
Cut your hand off.
We actually just caught swordfish and didn't know.
We would catch it and go try to grab it by its...
By the sword part or saw or whatever. Anyway, so we did that. We cut a water line ourselves and put the PVC pipe in the ground, covered it. Your Bolden boys made a water line.
I love that.
Yeah, we did it. And they finished it, or like the water people had to come in and drill down to get to the water, but we did 80% of the work, 90, maybe more.
Well, we didn't do that, but Greg and I replaced a part of our sprinkler system, and and all I did was hold stuff while Greg did everything. But I felt like a man after. Like Greg is like drenched in sweat. He's got like dirt and everything all over him, and I have a little dirt on my hands, and I was like, I put in a hard day's work. We did it.
You know what? A team can't get anything done without a manager. That was you, buddy.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg's one of those people that's like, hey, good job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you did everything.
You did everything. Yeah.
But thank you. And I deserve this more than you do.
I think I will say it's huge of you to know and accept the fact that you did nothing and he did all of it. Because I wish that the people that own slaves thought the same thing.
Oh.
So they would release them earlier.
Okay.
What do you think? I was going to say, man, I wish we still had slaves.
No.
Jesus.
But, so things have been going well with your
pops? So like, even before we did the property thing, we had a good long talk, and eventually it was not 100% his fault that we weren't getting along.
For sure.
It was, there's always two parts to a story. There's always two sides to a coin. Mm-hmm. And
takes two to tango.
We never danced together, but it definitely took some funny story. Father Bolden won a dance contest back in the day, disco contest.
I believe that.
Yeah, bell bottoms, afro, everything.
Wow.
No, he didn't have an afro. Dad, if you had an afro, can we please see a photo?
Yes.
So we can post it. I'm gonna post it as my profile pic. But everything's good. I made this. If you are a friend of mine personally and follow my Instagram or whatever, that's at Boldy Jeans, isn't it? What is it now? Yeah, it's Boldy Jeans.
I don't know.
Whatever the hell it is. I made this really long.
Drutron anymore?
No, I changed it a while ago, I think. But it's this really long sappy post about how, if you dream it, you can do it. Basically all I said was like, my father and I didn't really get along. We had a long talk, and I realized that I was blaming him for everything, and I needed to grow up a little bit and take responsibility for my own actions. And it's huge because I for the longest time, I felt like I would never be like good enough for my dad. And then we started, honestly, whenever you feel like you aren't good enough for somebody, that's all in your head. Sometimes it might be true. Sometimes you may not be good enough for these people, but you don't need them, even if they are your parents or whatever. But if it is, what I'm trying to say is, if you both can mature, if you're both mature enough to talk it out and say, hey, I hate that you did this, can you fix it? And they say, hey, I hate that you did this, can you fix it? And you do, it'll be just fine. It'll all work out.
I love that.
And so Father Bolden and I are great. I actually texted him today a picture of me, and he said, "Good God, get this off my screen."
That makes me that maybe more than it should. That makes me so happy. And
well, just because you've known me this whole time,
Yeah, but like,
just in general, when people get back with their family.
Yeah, and I know what it's like to be in a relationship where friendship or whatever, where you feel like you're never going to be good enough, and where you feel like you're constantly swimming upstream and like you'll never get the approval of that person. And I saw that a lot in you guys' relationship, and it hurt me because I've been there before, and luckily I haven't been there with people in my family, but I've been in relationships where I feel like nothing I ever did was good enough.
Yeah.
And I saw that with you. It felt like, and I don't even think it was necessarily true, but it felt
That's
like,
what it felt like
for you,
yeah,
that nothing you ever could do was good enough.
Right.
And I connected with that on a very, very deep level. And the fact that you're able to, and you're probably not out of the woods or out of the water or whatever you call it, but there still will be moments where you feel like the stuff that you do is never enough. But hopefully you guys have gotten to a point where you can, the most important thing is, I mean, it's so cliche, but communication, just being able to tell each other that, like, hey, you made me feel this way. Any of the most successful relationships, friendship wise or like girlfriend wise, whatever, has always been from being able to let that person know, like, this is how you made me feel.
Yep.
And that other person being receptive to that. And so I almost like teared up a little bit, because I'm just like, I'm so glad that you guys are on
speaking
moving
terms?
past. Moving past that kind of stuff. And I'm sad. That's the one thing over the past 2 months of not being on social media. That's the one thing I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to see. Cause
hey, it's gonna be there when you get back if you ever do. I can even show you if you want.
Yeah, but I love that.
Yeah,
one of our friends, Meeks, told me about. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I loved that post that Drew put. Like, it just warmed my heart." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't see it. What did it say?" And she told me.
Yeah, you dick. How dare you?
Yeah, but she told me, and I was just like, I love that. And I knew that you guys were working stuff out, so I was kind of I knew before you guys knew. But dude, I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad that has worked out.
So cherry on top, we spent a full Saturday, tilling the land, as in you said earlier.
Yep.
Had a great time, dude.
Yeah. And I love that, because I wouldn't imagine that coming from your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So I think a big thing is, like, he's kind of accepted he's accepted who I've become or who I am or whatever, which, I'm the rootinest, tootinest, baddest son of a bitch around these parts.
Yeah.
And I'll say rootinest, tootinest tits and be fine with it in a normal conversation. But around Father Bolden, would never have dreamt to have said it. But I said, Colton, I'm going to be honest, I said some bad words around Father Bolden. And guess what? It was a conversation. He didn't say anything about it.
I love that. And so
that was another huge thing, because one time I was helping him replace something under the sink when I was like 22 or something, and I said, I don't even know how the hell this goes in, and he goes, hey, watch it. It was hell. I said, hell, and he freaked out. And I said, Colton, I'm not gonna bleep these out because I want you to hear. I said, my ass. I'm just kidding. I didn't. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god! I was like, no.
I said, this is bullshit. I think I didn't say goddamn, because he's religious, so that would hurt him.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the apostles. One of the commandments is never take
your Lord's
doth
name in vain.
Lord in vain or whatever. I think I said, like, son, that hurt like a son of a bitch or holy shit or whatever, and he just treated me like an adult.
So, and I was just talking about this with someone.
But whole day we were joking, had a great time. Father Bolden, if you're watching, cheers, bud. Love you.
Love you. I really do, and this is I'm not just saying.
Wait, sorry, real quick. He asked about you, and he said he would like to come see the house at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, I'm not just saying this. I would love to I just love your whole family. And so I would love to see, I've seen your brother and I kind of recently, but not so recently, have seen your mom, but I haven't seen your dad in forever. It's been years. So I'd love to hang out. Hopefully I get invited one day to the land, and I'd love to come out and see it.
He said, the first thing he said whenever we have the barn, he said, I want you to invite your friends, Colton. I want you to invite them over. And he goes, and Greg, and I want you to bring them over, and we'll do a cookout, go to the lake if we want. At this point, hopefully we'll have dirt bikes and shit. He goes, I'm getting a boat. I'm getting this and this. And I was like, you had me at the last thing you said.
but what I was going to say is,
if anyone else would like to come out, you can't.
I was talking to someone about this before, but I've always been really nervous, and I've never cussed around my family for a really long time.
Oh, I was like, oh, okay.
Like my mom and dad. Well, so when I say family, my mom and dad.
Right.
Really, really careful with what I say around them. And it was more so like a respect thing, but it was also like a comfortability thing. Like I didn't want them to think that I was a shitty person.
Colton.
Oh my God. But
Poopy.
I've gotten to where I'm a little more comfortable with my dad, and I did say on accident, my parents were over here. I did say the word.
Hey,
on accident.
Yeah.
I said it and I was like, hot. Like I was talking to my mom and I said it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, but your dad laughed, and Angie, the saint that she is, she lost all the color in her face.
Yeah, but
she had no idea that you were such a heathen.
She's like, oh my.
You've been hanging around with Drew too much.
I think my parents aren't as naive as sometimes I would like them to be.
Your mom gets crazy. I want you to know that. She had half a margarita and was...
No, but like I think they know the things that they from context clues, they know the stuff that I say. When we bleep out words, they know that I've said,
You're not saying I love Jesus every time.
But like, I don't want to put that in the podcast. Can you bleep that out?
Well, I'm editing, so that would make sense if I cut it out.
But like the other day,
did I have this jizz on my sweater the whole time?
Yeah, you've had it the whole time. I've looked at it a couple times and I'm like,
don't.
Hey, dude,
did you wash it?
Did you not keep everything in your mouth?
Let's wrap this up. We're running past time.
I don't care, honestly, and I know you probably do, but let's do this for another couple hours. But I was gonna say
we can record it
that my yesterday or a couple days ago, my sister FaceTimed me, and I didn't know that my parents were with my sister.
Oh, yes, this was yesterday.
Yeah, and so my sister FaceTimed me, and I answered, and I said, she goes, hey, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm just having sex with Drew. And then my and as a joke, because...
Yeah, it was a joke. She slowly turned the FaceTime over
to my dad, and I didn't know that they were in Oklahoma. Also... But
Cecil was laughing because he knows that we're dumb.
Here's a helpful hint.
And gay together.
Even though you may not like group text messages, you should probably read them every once in a while because there may be some important information in there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know my parents were going to go up to Oklahoma, but apparently it was talked about. And I go, oh, and I said this. I go, oh, I didn't know mom and dad were coming to Oklahoma this weekend. And they were like, oh, we talked about it in the group text. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, which I definitely read.
Okay, one more thing. I have to address this immediately.
Okay.
Immediately.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah, go.
So, one of the questions that I have posed on our notes is, how do you address when one of your roommates puts something in your house that you don't want there?
Oh, no.
Okay.
What is it?
So, it's me, you, Greg.
Yeah.
Greg does a lot of things, puts a lot of stuff in the house that I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're doing this.
You can always tell him, hey, I don't want this here.
But
he's an adult. We just talked about this whole episode. Be mature, talk, listen.
And I guess I should have done this, but I'm too scared because I like to not say things because I'm very passive. But there has been, for a year now, there has been a pillow that has been in the recliner chair.
Oh,
that I don't know why, but I don't know why, but I don't like that pillow. And there have been a couple of times where I've like very passively put it in your room and it's made its way back out to the living room. And I'm like, I don't want this here. The last time I put it in there, I think you still have it in your room.
Yeah.
And I feel like an asshole because I feel like it's me saying you have shit taste and it's not.
No, it doesn't go with anything, but the only reason it's there is because I have a shitty old man back already, and if I don't sit in that chair with it, I hurt. That's
really?
The only reason. Yeah.
But
also,
I thought you thought it looked good, and I'm like, I'm colorblind, and I think this looks awful.
No, it looks awfully good. Colton, what, you think it looks bad? I'm kidding. Dude, how
I'm stupid because
you are so stupid because I'm the least. I let things roll off my back like a duck. You could say
that is true, but I also it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that I am very like, I don't want to like ruffle any feathers from the duck's back.
Oh, nice.
Back.
Yeah.
But I should also know because I think you have pretty good taste when it comes to interior design because you picked out our coffee table and end table, and I think it looks really good. Mm-hmm. So I don't know why I would think you also made our sexy ass wall.
Thank you. Is there anything about me right now that looks a little bit different than it used to? Should we talk about it now?
On your shirt, dude.
Should we talk about it now that we're at the end of the episode?
Also, can we bleep out?
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
We come.
It's
the end of the episode. Just say it. What happened to me? If you haven't noticed yet,
and if you're listening, not watching, jump on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
You cut your hair.
I did finally,
and I was very attached to your hair before, and I knew that you would look good, but now that you've done it, you look great.
Thank you.
And you should keep it that way.
I will. I don't think I'll ever go back to. I might do long hair because I can, and Colton likes to live bi-curiously through me. So
yes.
Let's end this episode before we get to 1 minute and 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ.
1 minute and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. What are we gonna do for the rest of the night?
The rest of the night, we're probably just gonna keep drinking.
For the night, being polite.
We're putting it pound. We're putting it pound now. Get your can. You're gonna actually open it.
All right, here we go. Hey, thanks for listening.
Yeah,
this was a fun episode. I enjoy. I really do.
It's not dragging on any longer. But.
I know, but I really do think that I haven't gone to therapy yet. I do want to go to therapy, but I really think in the intermediate or in the interim. Sorry, not interim. In the interim, this podcast kind of helps me keep myself a little more sane. Just talking shit out. Real, funny, whatever, and I'm glad that you were real and talking about this stuff with your dad. So, love you, dude. Love Father Bolden.
Love you, Father Bolden.
Thanks for listening. Have a good one.
Yep.